it's actually on or what. So I'm like, everybody likes to look at Lula. Mwah. All right, Libby. There you go. Okay. So impromptu Facebook Live, because I'm so excited about some news I just got. It is from one of my clients who I am coaching. She had an opportunity to take a job that she was seriously considering. And she and I had kind of talked through it and evaluating whether or not this was going to be the right fit for her and the best next step for her professionally. And when she was describing this job to me, it reminded me of a situation that I was in back in 2006. And why it reminded me was because she was sharing how it was an opportunity that seemed really attractive to her because she would have more control and autonomy in the work that she was doing. She felt like she might have the opportunity to, be creative and run things the way that she wants to run them. And that all sounded really good, right? I think a lot of us can relate to that idea of wanting to be able to have more control and to be in a position of leadership. But what stuck out and what reminded me so much of myself was that then she started describing that it was a small company, that it was relatively new, was not yet financially stable, that she would have a significant role in fundraising for that company and contributing to their financial stability, and that she would essentially have one other person working with her. And then concerns started to show up for me. And here's why. Because in 2006, I joined a very small company. I doubled the population of the company by joining. And it was explained to me that I would only be getting paid $15 an hour, and I would only be getting paid for $40 hours. Though I would work far more than 40 hours. I ended up working probably somewhere around 60 to 70 hours a week, 6 to 7 days a week. And I nonetheless took the job because I was so excited about it. And it was my childhood dream of being a wedding coordinator. And I thought there's so much opportunity for potential. I can turn things around, totally need somebody like me. I can really help take this thing forward. And I was hearing a similar sentiment from my client where she was so excited about what she could contribute, how she could really get in there and use her skills. And here's the thing. I did take that job. I did work those 6-7 days a week. Took way more responsibility than was appropriate or good for me. And I just kept giving and giving and giving of myself because I thought that if I just gave enough, that I would be able to get what I really wanted, and which very much included financial stability and being paid what I was worth. And I had this idea that if I did my part and I really worked hard at it, that over time, then I would be rewarded for that, particularly financially. What ended up happening, after months and months of me working as hard as I've ever worked in my entire life, was the owner essentially saying that she would not be able, in her view, to increase my payments, and that I would not be coming on as a partner in the company as I had thought that I would have the opportunity to do so. What ended up happening was that in a short period of time later, I'd been working myself into the ground. I actually worked myself into a full-on major emotional mental breakdown, like in a psychiatric hospital, not able to function, speak, drive a car, I was decimated. And it was because I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to have boundaries. I didn't know how to recognize that for me to grow, for me to be generous and, create the things that I wanted to create, that I didn't have to sacrifice my well-being. I didn't have to be the one to take a huge pay cut, which was another thing in common with my client, that she would have taken a huge pay cut. And, I think as women especially, we get so used to sacrificing ourselves and just thinking, okay, well, I'm strong. I'm capable, I can do it, I'll just suck it up and we'll figure it out and it's all going to be okay. And why I'm so proud of my client is that in the conversation that she and I had about this, she started to really get and see where she had been in the habit of accepting less than she needed and less than she deserved, for the sake of, you know, having the company succeed, for other people doing well. And she just kept shouldering too much. And so in this instance, she recognized that she's not going to do that, not this time. And I wish that I could have recognized that back in 2006, but I didn't know then. It took me going through the most excruciatingly painful and devastating experience of my life, and having that full scale breakdown that lasted months, for me to recognize that I needed to learn how to do my life. I needed to learn how to make progress. I needed to learn how to set goals. I needed to learn how to take care of myself so that I could create a sustainable momentum. This has a lot to do with Map of Progress and progress coaching, and so much of what I'm doing with you now was rooted back in 2006 when I set myself up to take a huge fall. And it's not that I knew that that's what I was doing. It's that I was doing the best I knew how. And I had a big heart, and I had a lot of drive and will to create things and to pursue my dreams. And I know that a lot of you have that as well. And certainly my client has this. And so I just was so proud of her. I am so proud of you, my dear, for being brave and making a different decision. And instead of doing something that you would normally do, where you would normally just take one for the team, take the pay cuts, take on the responsibility of a company's, you know, financial success, to not do that, to say, no, I'm actually going to prioritize taking care of myself. And I'm going to trust that there is an opportunity out there where I can do the things that I want to do and still be paid well and not have to work and not be compensated for it. So I think it's particularly apropos, and this is International Women's Day. There's a lot of conversations about pay equality, a lot of conversations about the patriarchal societies that many of us live in. And so for me today, getting this news was such victory. It was her victory. And I am hoping that for those of you that can see yourself in her, in me, that you will also consider being brave and making a different decision. And certainly if that is something that scares the shit out of you and you have no idea how to do that, then please message me and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you, because we don't necessarily do this alone. But when we have examples of how it can go a different way and start to understand what to do to get a different outcome, and to really own and accept that we can get what it is that we want without having this huge cost to ourselves, then life changes. And it's amazing. And I want that for you. And I'm so excited that she's on the way to that. So anyhow, yay for being able to own your own value and not sacrifice yourself and think that it's a good idea. Okay, dears? That's it. That's my spontaneous Facebook Live. But I would love to hear from you, answer any questions in the comments if you got them.